What I'm suggesting to you is, ladies and gentlemen, that 2012 Joe Biden is not here anymore. This is not that guy. And nobody should be afraid of asking basic questions. Can this guy handle the job? Many of you saw Joe Biden on stage the other day, Super Tuesday, after a really stunning victory in 10 of 14 states on the ballot, including Texas, which shocked the heck out of me. And a couple of dairy protesters, of all things, stormed the stage, and Simone Sanders, who was one of the Biden staffers, and another security person they had hired, basically tackled them, and then Jill Biden as well, Joe Biden's wife. Folks, I took personal offense to this. I'm sorry. A lot of people are blaming the Secret Service. The Secret Service, let me be crystal clear, does not have a detail on Joe Biden. Yes, I used to work there. My heart will always be there. But when they screw up, I'm always fair with them and you. I'm not here to, and neither are they. When they mess things up, they come out and say it. This was not a Secret Service group. They're not there. They weren't there. I have a story up at the Washington Examiner in the show notes. You can check it out yourself by Mike Bress. Top Democrat asked DHS to consider Secret Service protection for 2020 candidates. Dated March 4th, 2020. It was not the Secret Service. Please stop saying that. They did not screw up. They weren't there. That's not up to them. Congress determines in conjunction with DHS professionals when these details, these what we used to call CNOS details, candidate nominee operations section details, when they get protection. They were not there. So please stop promoting that hoax. It is not true. They did not screw anything up. They weren't there. Okay, getting back to the Biden segment. So, hearing a lot of this, getting a lot of feedback. Always enjoy your feedback. Go to our website if you want to email us. Me and Paula read them all the time. But a lot of the feedback I'm getting is, oh my gosh, this was such a terrible day. I think Biden is a better candidate than Bernie Sanders. We wanted to run against, this is from Trump supporters, obviously. We wanted to run against Bernie. Bernie's in trouble. First, point number one, Bernie's not done, ladies and gentlemen. Biden only has roughly 500 delegates. He needs 4 times as many to get the nomination. And Bernie's only 60 delegates behind them, depending on what happens in California? So that's case point number one. Do not write Bernie's political obituary yet. He's not done. It's not even close to done. We may be looking at a brokered convention. As a matter of fact, that's highly likely. And many of the states coming up, some of the primary states coming up in the Democrat primary, are heavily Hispanic states where Bernie's performed very well. So point number one, he's not done. On the, though, Biden is a really strong candidate and we wanted Bernie more than Biden point. Folks, I'm not making any predictions for the general yet because we don't know who the nominee is going to be, but Biden is weak. Are we kidding? Biden, we're afraid of... Folks, listen, I'm sorry. If we can't beat Biden, we're in a lot of trouble. You ever see Braveheart? Joe, I love that movie. You ever see Braveheart?
Oh, yeah, I love Braveheart.
I forced Paula to watch Braveheart probably 500 times. Remember when they line up on the battlefield to fight the English, and there's some of them are running the Scots because they see the army's huge, and the guy goes,
"Yeah,
wait, do not flee, folks, please." Trump supporters regarding Joe Biden, wait. Do not flee. There's nothing to flee from. There's an election battlefield here. There's nothing to fear with Joe Biden. Could he win? Yes, anybody could win. Elections, things happen. We don't know what's going to happen between now and election day. We have no idea. But we're afraid of Joe Biden rather than Bernie? I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. So now let's go into the why. It doesn't do me any good to just tell you, hey, don't flee, Joe. Do not flee Biden, and not tell you why. Number one, I'm going to get to some video and some stuff in a minute that's going to nuke your bagels, not just bake them. This is a tough thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I said it on Laura Ingram's show last night, another debate with Chris Hahn I had. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it not fair to question Biden's coherence and age? Oh my God, that's ageist. It's not ageist, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 45. I talk about my age all the time. Joe's slightly older than me. Paula's the youngling of the bunch. She's the youngest one in this crew. Or maybe Drew. I don't even know. How old is Drew? I got to have Drew text me when you're producing this and you listen to it. I have no idea. Drew may be young. Is he older than us? Why is it not fair to Well, ask that question. I said on Ingram last night, I meant it. My prior line of work, where I was a federal agent, there's an age limit. Now, granted, there's a physicality to that job, and age does matter. People who are younger are, tautologically speaking, typically stronger than people who are older, given the control of other variables. Mm-hmm. But having said that, the Secret Service is a very cerebral job, too. You have to design security plans. And they understand that people who are younger generally are probably more suited to doing that. I don't understand why it's not appropriate to protect the president. You can only get on the job if you're under a certain age. It's in your 30s, the age limit. You get on the job. And you have to retire by, I'm not sure if it's 55 or 60 anymore. They may have changed it. To protect it. But to be the president when you're 77 and you've shown no evidence of being able to present clear mental faculties all the time, we're supposed to ignore it? I don't understand that. I'm sorry. It's not a personal knock on Biden. President Trump is in his 70s too. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason the argument hasn't come up about President Trump and his age is because he doesn't present any evidence that it's taken the toll on him that would make him unfit to be president. Biden hasn't presented any of that. He forgets where he is. He forgets his sentences. He forgets people's names. Some of it are innocent mistakes. Again, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but not all of them are. It's a fair question. Maybe it's not this positive. I'm not saying it's the only question. Maybe it's something you're willing to forego. That's fine. You all vote. I can't vote for you. But if you think we're not going to ask the question, you're out of your mind. You're not going to scare us away from that. You're talking about a man who's going to control the nuclear codes. It's fair to ask what's going on in his head. It's not that there's gaffes either, ladies and gentlemen. The gaffes aren't the only problem. Biden's made gaffes his whole career. These aren't gaffes. He's legitimately forgetting what state he's in. He can't finish a sentence sometimes. Folks, he's made gaffes his whole career. And I'll tell you, in mild defense, Joe Biden, years ago, at times, limited times, could be sharp. I will never forget the 2012 election, the presidential and vice presidential debates. Everybody was so excited about Paul Ryan debating Joe Biden. Brian's going to kill him. Folks, if you watch that debate like I did, Joe Biden surprised everyone. I'm not kidding. I watched that debate. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, where did this guy come from? Just go back and look at the news coverage afterwards if you think I'm messing with you. What I'm suggesting to you is, ladies and gentlemen, that 2012 Joe Biden is not here anymore. This is not that guy. And nobody should be afraid of asking basic questions. Can this guy handle the job?
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.